So there's a homeless camp in Lake Martinsville. I mean, they're all over the world. And I just was thinking about how I stand on the backs of giants. And what I do and what I have the ability to do is because I've come from a long line of successful people. And man, I'm thankful for that. My granddad, he was a farmer, and he left farming because he saw that he couldn't make the money that he needed to, and he went into investment banking, and he was a stockbroker. And then my dad, he's a money manager, or was. He's retired now. And then on the other side of the family, I had a guy that worked like several generations ago that worked for a very successful company, and had an ownership in that company, and that allowed for a really beautiful and abundant life for me and my family. I think about that all the time, like all the time, and just how thankful and grateful I am that they sacrificed so that I could have the abundance that I have. But it's not enough for me to just enjoy that abundance, right? So I have to push it on to the next generation, and I just have to do better, you know what I mean, and leave it better than I found it. And so I think about that, and I think about in the prologue to Les Miserables. That's what I'm thinking about right now. Jean Valjean steals from this church, and he uses, and then he gets caught ultimately, and he goes back to the preacher with the policeman that say, like, so tell him the story of you were here last night, and you maintain that the preacher gave you the silver that you have now. And the preacher at any time could have said, bro, you stole that, and like, give it back, but instead, and go to jail. But instead, the pastor says, yeah, that story is completely true, and I gave that silver, and you can let him go. You've done a great job, policeman. I can see how this is a crazy story to believe, but no, indeed, I did give that silver. And so the policemen leave, and there's a line that, like, you must use this precious silver to become an honest man. And by the witness of the martyr, and in some higher plan, won't you use this precious silver to become an honest man, right? And so I think about what was given to me, and that, like, in a lot of ways we all, like, not saying that, like, the church is the best thing, but we all fall short of, like, what we could be and our highest and best potential. And I just think about that, and that, like, the gifts that were given to me, I have to use to benefit society and benefit other people. And that's what I'm trying my best to do. I understand that abundance comes from nature, and that we've lived in this, like, weird sort of disconnect from, like, the natural systems for so long, that if I can use the money that was given to me to bring people closer to the earth, and realize that it's our birthright to have the abundance and you know, our needs met from nature, but for some reason society has built up this kind of framework that keeps us separate from that. So I hope that in the work that we do through the Sustainable Homestead Institute, and the work that we just do, period, that we can bring people closer to nature and abundance, because we have to play the hands that we're dealt. Hopefully the only way to get a better hand is to educate yourself to be a better player. We're never going to get a better hand, right? But we can educate ourselves in the way that the game works, and just do better. And because we have to help people, man. spoke with the man at the tire shop getting the oil changed the other day, and he said that people are really suffering right now, and it's apparent to me. But wherever I go, I ask, like, what's the economy looking like for you? Can you feel the heartbeat of the customers when they come in? And he said, yeah, absolutely. Like, the people are just putting off the maintenance, where, like, I would think that the economy, like, suffering, that car maintenance would do better, because people can't really buy a new car, and they're not gonna, like, pay the interest rates, so they have to fix the one that they have. But the truth is that people don't have the money right now, and so they're putting off buying. They're putting off buying things, and they're putting off that maintenance and driving it to the last possible second, and then they come in. And on top of that, there's like Car Shield and these extended warranties that don't cover anything. This one lady, he was recounting her story, and she had paid for the Platinum plan, which in some cases is like $200 and $300 a month, right? So rule of thumb, $20 a month for every $1,000 that you borrow over 5 years. That is that's like a new car, bro. That's a new car, if you were to save that money and do it for yourself. But these cars aren't covering anything, so you're paying all this money, and then you're just giving, and then they don't cover anything. So the one lady, she needed like a lot of work done, but the Car Shield only ended up covering $56 valve cover replacement for her out of all the things that she needed. He talked about another lady that needed her whole suspension done. You know, tire, I don't even know all the things, but ultimately she could only get the tie rods done, because that would limp her along as best we can, because people just can't meet their needs. Now that's a story of like the small microcosm that is Martinsville in Southwest Virginia. And of course, the closer you are to Oz, right, the closer you are to the bigger cities, the larger market you have, the more money velocity there is. But it's just not trickling down to the rural people here. I don't know what's really to be said for that, other than you take that out on a long enough timeline, and pigs get fat and hogs get slaughtered. And that's my fear, is that, like, as you know, bread and circuses in the fall of the Roman Empire, as those are, like, people aren't meeting their needs, the only resort is like anger and violence, right? So I hope that the politicians and the people in charge that are kind of supposed to be steering the ship can get their act together, because, like, we really are staring into like the fiery abyss. But sure, people have said that for forever. Like, you look back into the Roman Empire, and they're still talking about overpopulation. So, like, it's not, you know, everything has the will to live, and everything wants to live, but it's getting harder and harder the more separate we are from nature. So thanks for listening to me rant a little bit. If you want to support us, you can do that through Sustainable Homestead Institute. We're a nonprofit that reconnects people to the landscape through ancestral skills and like Nature Alliance. So that's what we do. Hopefully we can teach you something. Thanks for watching this. Thus concludes another highway ranting of a passionate man as I drive to the hardware store to try to leave it better than I found it. Thanks for watching.